Tonight we get to hear from one of Westminster's finest, Todd Cole, class of 1983. He graduated from Westminster with a degree in elementary education. What a calling it has been. He received his master's degree in 1990 as a reading specialist. Todd has been honored locally, statewide, and nationally for his calling in education. He's recently retired. And I hope that's a good thing for him, but I'm thinking he's missing children in a bad way. Actually, I see him on campus all the time. I see him walking through town. He brings us cookies. I keep missing him and just keep coming to visit. Todd retired after 34 years, and now he's an adjunct faculty member here at Westminster, working in the education department. Looking forward to having the opportunity to help prepare future teachers. He is on the Alumni Council. He has received the Distinguished Alumni Award. You can actually see him if you can get Youngstown NBC affiliate WFMJ. He is their education expert. Todd has been an educator at Laurel Elementary for 34 years. He spent 25 years as a first grade teacher, and then he moved up. In the past 9 years, he's been a fourth grade teacher. In previous years, Todd was named Teacher of the Year by the Laurel Community Foundation, Lawrence County Educator of the Year, and was named one of the top 3 early educators for Disney's Teacher of the Year. Todd is a member of New Wilmington Presbyterian Church. He's an elder. He's a member of the preschool board. He sings in the chancel choir and their worship team. And Todd has published his first children's book, You Are a Masterpiece. Todd, God has called you. Let's give Todd a hand.
I am a masterpiece, this I know, for my teacher tells me so. I am a masterpiece, I'll do my best. I'll read and write and all the rest. I am a masterpiece, I am kind. I care for others who get in a bind. I am a masterpiece, I follow the rule. Being a good listener is real cool. I am a masterpiece, my colors will shine. Sharing with others all that's mine. I am a masterpiece from head to toe. This will be a year for me to grow. When I was a little boy, I'd sit next to my mom as she read one of my favorite stories to me. It made me feel special. It made me want to learn how to read. And when I learned how to read, they didn't throw a party for me. They didn't have a parade in my honor. My reward was hearing a little voice inside me that said, "You are a masterpiece." When I was a little boy, I'd love to sit next to my mom in church as we sang hymns together. I loved singing next to my mom. It made me want to learn how to sing. And when I learned how to sing, I didn't become a star on Broadway, nor did I become a member of my favorite pop singing group. My reward was hearing a little voice inside me that said, "You are a masterpiece." When I was a little boy, I enjoyed sitting next to my mom and dad during scout meetings. My parents were great scout leaders. I loved watching my parents work together. It made me feel special. It made me want to earn all my badges. And when I learned all my badges, I didn't receive lots of money. I didn't receive a letter from the President of the United States. My reward was hearing a little voice inside me that said, "You are a masterpiece." When I was a little boy, I'd sit next to my dad on a sandy beach as he taught me how to swim. I loved watching my dad swim. It made me feel special. It made me want to learn how to swim. And when I learned how to swim, I didn't become an Olympic swimmer, and I didn't become a lifeguard on a crowded beach. My reward was hearing a little voice inside me that said, "You are a masterpiece." My parents were clearly my first teachers in life. They connected home, school, and church together to create a bond that was unshakable. I'm going to stop reading from my children's book to try and convey how these activities and memories of mine help to support Hebrews. How many of you have a trophy like this? Something like it. Okay. Did you bring it to school with you? Probably, maybe not. Maybe it's on a shelf or a bookcase at home. Most likely you're just walking right by it, forgetting about the amazement of getting this trophy. You're probably dusting around this trophy. But you can't dust around the journey that brought you to this trophy. The journey, that's so much different. You bring the journey with you everywhere you go. You can't put the trophy in your purse or your wallet, but the journey is what is in your heart that helps make you who you are today and who you will be tomorrow. It will help you become a more responsible citizen. It will teach you to not run the race just for the prize, but for the journey itself. Now, my picture book continues on to tell you that I'm going to become a teacher. And that's when one of the most important decisions of my life happened to me. God brought me to Westminster. He brought me Judd McConnell and Wayne Nickerson, the chaplains of our church before you. They guided and encouraged me with my already established faith formed by my parents to grow even better, even stronger. It was through the chapel office that I was active in service teams and clown ministry. You remember that? Clown ministry? And I was active in leading a Sunday school group that traveled to Highland Presbyterian in Newcastle. Wayne and Judd helped bring colors to my palette. Then my professors, particularly Gerb Miller and Dar Huey. Gerb would take Charlotte's Web, and we would sit and listen to him read it to us, and he made me feel like I was sitting on the stool right next to Fern in Zuckerman's barn, listening to all the animals try to find a way to save Wilbur's life. He gave me my passion for children's literature. Dar, his gentle spirit, was something that I hope to imitate and bring into my classroom. Dar created an atmosphere that encouraged me to raise my hand as a freshman in college who lived 9.5 hours away. Both Gerb and Dar helped me to realize that I would not be teaching the curriculum, but I would be teaching children. I would be teaching the whole child. I would be teaching the sexually abused, the physically abused, the verbally abused. I would be teaching the child who was raised by one parent that had 3 different jobs to make ends meet. I would be teaching the child exposed to drugs and alcohol on a daily basis. I would be teaching the child who didn't have a meal since the day prior at lunchtime. I would be teaching the child who was bullied, and I'd be teaching the bully. I would be teaching the child whose only moral compass was mine. When I became a teacher, my colleagues helped me carry the torch that was instilled in me by Gerb, Dar, Wayne, Judd, and my parents. Then, my friends, take a look around you right now, because these are going to be your lifelong friends. Some of my lifelong friends are here with me tonight after 35 years. That's very telling of what kind of a place Westminster is. They have been with my family through thick and thin, the good and the bad, the highs and the lows, and my fraternity friends helped me and gave me the word of lifelong friend gave new meaning to it. They gave to the community and they created so many memories for me. I cannot encourage you enough to use Jim and to use your professors and your friends to help you establish and grow a faith that's even stronger. Without them, I'm not sure if I would have had the strength to make it through when life happens. I do believe God doesn't give you what you can handle, but the strength to handle what you are given. He puts people in your life to help you through. These people, along with my sturdy palate of my parents, prepared me for not just what the teacher's manual in the classroom, but for the teacher's manual for life. The Bible has helped to add the bright colors as well. Ephesians 2:10, for we are God's masterpiece. He has created us anew in Jesus Christ so we can do the good things that He has planned for us. I truly believe that these important people and the Word of God has taught me something a textbook could never teach. The important people of my school days at Laurel have certainly made me laugh. I even have a child from first grade who's here today, but she's an adult now. The life of a teacher is filled with ups and downs. It's an emotional roller coaster. It's filled with humor and advice that can be shared with future teachers, again, not found in the teacher's manual. For example, now get this one. Don't ever pick up what you think is going to be a brown crayon. I'm pausing. It happened to me, and one of my colleagues had a bag of Tootsie Rolls on my desk the next day. So, yes, teachers' manuals are important, but they cannot prepare you for tragedy that needs to be explained to a child. You put your important people and Bible to support you with the right words. 9/11. I was teaching first grade on that day, and I knew there was something very bad going on, but we were not allowed to turn on our televisions. We were asked, and then we were knowing that there was something very bad. I got a phone call message on my machine in my room from a parent asking me to tell their child that it was okay to pray. I will never forget forming a circle hand in hand at the end of the day, letting the kids know that something horrible had happened in our world and that their parents would tell them about it. But that our circle, with our hands held together, would never be broken, and that I would be there to protect them every day as their teacher. Sandy Hook. This event forced us to practice drills that we were not familiar with. It made the event real, and it made it scary. Again, we formed that same circle. I was in fourth grade at the time, and it symbolized a strong bond that we would never be broken. I always remember leading our colleagues down every hallway after the kids were long gone on the bus, touching every door and saying every teacher's name and their homeroom number. And that was our way of symbolizing that we hoped and prayed that these kids would never be exposed to the evil of what happened at Sandy Hook. The sound of the feet of those those teachers following me behind on the cement floors is something I will always remember. The death of students and teachers. What do you say? We somehow find the words or the activity that will make the loss more manageable for kids, for teachers, and the community. I have sung and delivered way too many eulogies for teachers, parents, and students. It is important to note that when a child has died at Laurel Elementary, the third floor of this great college would send a note and flowers to our school, again instilling that we do not teach the curriculum, but we teach children. Again, through your important people who know God, will give you the strength to make it through. Teachers are often seen as heroes in our child's life. They look to us for answers, and we better be prepared by the faith and knowledge of Jesus Christ to help us through with these words. Now, as life continued to happen, my family and friends from Westminster, my colleagues from Laurel, and my church family from across the street gave me the strength to make it through my dad's day of glory. I truly believe Dad felt comfort in knowing that he would half leave us with all of you to help us to his day of glory, and he knew he was leaving us in good hands with a true community of love. When I was diagnosed with cancer, my road was quite eventful, with 3 surgeries in 10 days and a 4th one in 6 months later. That put me in a long-term hospital with doctors who told me I would never eat again. God took everyone who knew me on an unexpected journey of answered prayers, but in his time, not in ours. It was the journey that made me who I am, not the scars all over my stomach. I also believe that it helped me run the race, not for the prize. I also believe it was the people who had similar experiences of faith that helped me run the race. And do you know that Wayne, the chaplain from the past, came to visit me in that long-term care facility? He lived in Colorado. He did come back to visit his family in Volant, but he had to go all the way to Pittsburgh to visit me for an afternoon. That's very telling, too, what kind of a place this is. A close classmate of mine is the one that called him. Dar brought books upon books, boxes upon boxes, when they had a book drive here for teachers to get free books, and he knew I could not make it, and so he loaded up his car and brought them all to my house. My brother came from Vermont and would hold my mother up for 2 weeks at the beginning of my journey, and I often wonder if I had been placed in the long-term care facility to teach others who are on this walk with me to become closer to Christ, as I certainly did. Teachers were gathering to pray for me at the before school and after school. I was meeting nurses during the night shift who were telling me about their hardships of losing a husband or losing a child. Maybe I was placed there to give them comfort. I had a student who wrote to me, many did, but this child asked, "Are you going to die?" And that's when I knew that I had another lesson to teach that wasn't in the classroom, but was a part of what made me who I am. Several friends and colleagues who are here tonight, a very small representation of a huge group of supporters through my illness, they had the faith. They had to have the faith. They had to have had the faith in order to help me through my journey. They brought their best paint to add to my palette. My best friend was the organizer of finding rides for my mother so that she would not miss one day of being with me. Months of going to the hospital. This was a list of faithful people from school, church, and Westminster. He was also the man who kept information about my journey alive on Facebook, so those far away could pray. People from all around brought food so that my mom would not have to prepare a meal and she could be focused on my health. I truly don't know how one can be an educator, facing all the problems outside of the teacher's manual, outside of the classroom. You need to rely on God. Westminster helped me build that life with the church across the street. Dar, Jerb, Wayne went there. This connection helped me find a continued presence of faith that grew and grew. They journeyed with our family when life happened. Now my mother has and is walking a journey with cancer. The strongest, most beautiful woman who was my rock during my illness. A mother, a nurse, a servant, a scripture reader when I couldn't even open my eyes. She has made her journey an example of grace in every aspect of the word. She never questions. God gives her the strength to handle what is given. So as I close, remember to look toward your lifelong friends, toward the chaplain, toward your professors. They will be with you for life when life happens, the good and the not so good. Look toward God, surrounding yourself with a cloud of witnesses who let us run the race, not only for the prize. And when you look toward all these people, you will be able to say, all of us are masterpieces. Welcome to the Museum of Life, a museum where parents, students, teachers, families, and friends will work together so that the brilliant colors of each masterpiece will shine brightly with each day of growing, loving, reading, laughing. What's over there? I can't see it. And praying. Let's celebrate the masterpiece in us all. You are a masterpiece, this he knows. This will be a year or life for you to grow. And when your masterpiece shines, you will speak a language of love. The lesson that will be heard, one person at a time. It starts with you and the kids that you will see on this video.
Hi, my name is Mr. Cole. I'm a fourth grade teacher here at Laurel Elementary School. It's really important for our kids to pass the test, to do their best in language arts, in math, in science, and social studies. But it's also important for our kids to do well in science, math, language arts, and social studies, and be a good person too. At Laurel Elementary, our motto is to be kind, safe, and responsible. Today's song that they will be singing is called Love in Any Language, and it's a song that's sung by one of my favorite artists, Sandy Patty. Please listen as these fourth graders teach you a lesson on how to be kind, safe, and responsible. Je t'aime, te amo, ya te ye blue. On me, oh heaven, oh heart, I love you. The sounds are all as different as the lands from which they came. And though our words are all unique, our hearts are still the same. Love in any language, straight from the heart, pulls us all together, never apart. And once we learn to speak it, all the world will hear. Love in any language, fluently spoken here. We teach the young our differences, yet look how we're the same. We love to laugh, to dream our dreams. We know the sting of pain. From Leningrad to Lexington, the farmer loves his land.
and daddies all get misty-eyed to give their daughters hand. Oh, maybe when we realize how much there is to share, we'll find too much in common to pretend it isn't there. Love in any language, straight from the heart, pulls us all together, never apart. And once we learn to speak it, all the world will hear. Love in any language, fluently spoken here. Though the rhetoric of government may keep us worlds apart, there's no misinterpreting the language of the heart. Love in any language, you can sing it if you want to, from the heart, pulls us all together, never apart. And once we learn to speak it, all the world will hear. Love in any language, fluently spoken here. Love in any language, straight from the heart, pulls us all together, never apart. And once we learn to speak it, all the world will hear. Love in any language, fluently spoken here. Love in any language, straight from the heart, never apart. And once we learn to speak it, all the world will hear. Love in any language, fluently spoken here. Love in any language, fluently spoken here. Love in any language, fluently spoken here. Amen.